Today is the day of Diwali, also known as the Festival of Lights, and you're seeing some of those lights right here. It's one of the most significant times in Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism, and over 1 billion people around the world will spend the next 5 days giving thanks to the light in their lives by lighting oil lamps, decorating their homes, giving prayer, and so much more. And to learn more about this, I am joined by friends of ours here, coming back for a second year in a row. They're volunteers at a local Hindu place of worship. For those who don't know who you are, can you just introduce yourselves and tell us where you also volunteer at?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us back again. I'm Janki, and this is my husband, Keval. We're from the BAPSU Samaran Mandir in Bartlett, Illinois.
Amazing. Thanks for joining us again. It's so nice to learn about different traditions, and you are going to tell us a little bit more about Diwali and its significance and how it's celebrated by families here.
Absolutely, and happy Diwali, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. And Diwali, as you mentioned, it's a 5-day festival, and it's also known as the Festival of Lights, and it's celebrated by many Hindus, Jains, and Sikhs all around the world. And it truly just signifies the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance. And families celebrate in many different ways. One of the foremost ways you see is here by food, different divas. You see these lamps on the table here. So that's just another symbolism of the victory of light over darkness.
Yeah, and as Keval had mentioned, it's a 5-day festival. So today is actually the 3rd day, which is actually the day of Diwali. And so there's many different stories behind why we celebrate Diwali, but one of the most commonly known stories comes from the Hindu scripture, the Ramayana. And in the scripture, it states that Ram Bhagwan, and Bhagwan is the Sanskrit word for God. So Ram Bhagwan was in the forest for 14 years, and on this day, he actually returns home to Ayodhya, which is the village that he's from. And the villagers loved him so much, they were so excited for him to come home. And so the day he comes home is the day of Diwali, and he comes home in the middle of the night. And so in order to welcome him home and for him to see the path that he's coming home, the villagers lit these oil lamps, or divas, and that's why Diwali is also known as the Festival of Lights.
And you were talking about the lamps, but you also talk about the spread and the food, and I know you have a tradition that you're going to share with me here today.
Of course. So yeah, you see these different dishes of sweets and delicacies.
Yes.
And the 4th day of Diwali, celebrated by some Hindus, is also the New Year, which is called the Ankut Day. And it's actually a compound word. An means food, and Kut means mountain. So you see we have our mini mountains of food here that we offer to God in these sacred images of God. And in Hinduism, we have a concept called Murti Puja, which means that we believe God to reside in these sacred images and accepts our worship and devotion through these offerings of food. So in fact, I remember last year we had you make a rangoli right here.
Yes, I did.
This year we're going to have you actually take part in preparing the ankut for us. So we have this dish of Indian sweets, and you're going to kind of similar to what we have here. We have 3 different mountains here. We're going to have you finish off the mountain. Yep.
And this Ankut here is mini, but at the BAPSU Samaran Mandir tomorrow from 12 to 8 p.m., free and open to all visitors, we're going to have a grand Ankut. So we welcome everyone to join us. All of these dishes are vegetarian, and they're all hand prepared by volunteers of the Mandir. So it's so much fun. We get together a couple days before the festival. We all start cooking, and then the day before the festival, so tonight really, we'll get together and we'll start stacking these mountains, and you'll see these really, really tall mountains tomorrow at the BAPSU Samaran Mandir.
Wow, and the mandir is so extravagant and beautiful. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to look it up. Is there any other things that you want to share about what families like yourself will be celebrating for the next few days?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Diwali starts off by first cleaning the home, getting ready for the actual festivities. We decorate the home. We have a lot of gift giving. A lot of friends and family come over to our homes. And then we go to the mandir and we celebrate by taking part in all these rituals, the ankut. Yesterday actually was the fireworks show that we had at the mandir as well. So it's filled with many different rituals, traditions, and it's just a day to kind of get together with everyone and spend time with your loved ones.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you both so much. It's really so special to have you in and just to share more about Diwali, what it means to you as a family, and we appreciate you both being here.
Thanks so much for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.